Anna, my friend, I'm so glad to see you. And thank you for doing this video. I'm a little sad we couldn't stream it Facebook Live, but my streaming is not working, and I want to make sure we have a clear video. So it's not because I'm like scared of what you're going to say or anything.
Oh, yeah, right.
There's still editing time, just in case. I'm kidding. So I am excited. You are one of the original like hardcores of the Christian network marketer community back when we started back in the day. And so I'm just so happy to be able to pick this back up and chat with you again. And so I'm just going to ask you a couple questions. One, how do you see God working in your business? And then what's one practical tip that will help someone get results in their business? Because I think that we all pray at night for more revenue. And as Christians, if we can give each other advisement and tips that we know is something that God would be proud of or that God would honor, I think we should share those tactical and practical tips. Because unfortunately, it doesn't say in the Bible, like, here are the steps on how to build your network marketing empire in plain sight. But if you look hard, they're there. And so I would love to do that. And then whatever else you want to add. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
All right, I'll let you take it from there. And I'll just start off with saying, I know that you had said, I really struggled with this question about how is God working in my business. And I think that is like, yes, we all feel that. Like, where are you? Excuse me, you promised, where are you? So could you talk a little bit about that? Share that?
Yes. In fact, I want to share a scripture. It's in Psalms 27. It said, I would have lost heart unless I had believed that I would see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait on the Lord, be of good courage, and he will strengthen your heart. Wait, I say, on the Lord. Sometimes that is the hardest part of your business, is waiting on God. Trusting him for your results, realizing that you can't do it all yourself, but if you will be faithful what he's called you to do, it will happen. And that's hard. That's really hard, but we just have to know in our heart that if we trust him and we do our part, it's going to happen.
And by it, you mean become $1 million earner, right?
Oh, you know what? When I first got into this business, I was with a different company. And that was my goal. I wanted to be $1 million earner. I wanted to have a huge team. I wanted. And I struggled because those things weren't happening. And if it's all right, I'm going to share a little story. This Sunday will be 2 years ago since it was about this time of day whenever I got a phone call and Charlie says, we've got to go to the hospital. My son's been in a horrible accident. That's my other half. And so my stepson, Connor, was in a horrible accident, and we've got to get there. Our life totally changed on that day, because up until then, everything was normal. He had just got engaged, and he was just an amazing kid. And we get to the hospital, and there's tubes and there's cords and there's stuff coming out of his head. And they tell us, you're going to be lucky if he makes it through the next 72 hours. And then you get through those 72 hours. And then you're going to be lucky if you get through the next week. And then you're going to be lucky if you get through the next month. And then if he comes home from the hospital and he functions as an 18-month-old and he's in diapers, you're going to be lucky. You're going to be blessed. Sorry.
It's okay.
But you're praying, and you've got a Facebook family, and you've got a team that's praying, and you're staying at the hospital, and you're doing what you can from your phone to work your business. And everything that you would work to build this way, you watch going this way. And your heart sinks, because I'd worked hard for that business. It was what I wanted. It was my goals. It was my dreams. It was my plans. And it's falling apart on me. And that's hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Well, in the midst of that, one of my best friends, she sends me this product and she says, Anna, you're sick all the time. You've always got bronchitis. You're always got pneumonia. You go through that inhaler 1 a month without fail. And I was just a sick person. And she sent me this product. She said, I want you to take this. And I watched it change my life. You guys, I have not had bronchitis or pneumonia since I started taking this product. That was a game changer for me. Well, she talked to me about, why don't you change businesses? And I'm like, no, I've been over here 2.5 years. This is my goal. This is my plan. These are my dreams. This is what I want to do. At the same time, I watch what's happening to me. I give another one of the products to Charlie, Connor's dad, and my other half. And his heart, he goes off of all of his heart medication, which is huge. He has just an amazing change in his cardio health. And always God starts working with me about, do you want to do what you want and do it on your timeline and get to your goal in your timing? Or are you willing to trust me and make a change and bless other people? And used to, it was about my accomplishments and where I got and how big my check was and what happened. Now it's about how many people can I help feel better, make a change in their lives, and it has totally revolutionized my business because it's no longer about dollar signs. It's become about who can I help, who can I bless. And I work for an amazing, generous company, and they send me one of the guys in my upline. Only if you're in direct sales do you understand that upline word. But anyway, a guy in my upline, he blesses me with products for me to be a blessing to other people because he knows I'm out here in the trenches talking to people who are dealing with, well, the FDA will not allow us to say the word of the issues that is out there, but there are people that are struggling and they're looking for solutions. And God dumped a solution in my lap that I was not looking for, I did not want. And for me to be somebody who shares a health and wellness product cracks me up. Look at me. All of this, I am not I am not a picture of health. But you know what? I've had a change in my health because of this. So I don't worry about what the outside looks like. I look at the tool that God has given me to use, and I look for other people who have needs, and I just reach out and talk to them. So instead of it being on my plan now, it's about Him. I just pray every day, God, give me divine appointment and kingdom connections. Bring the people into my life today that needs to hear the good news that there's hope for whatever it is that they're dealing with. And it's crazy. He lines people up every day, and I get to help them. And then they get their results, and then they're like, I want to tell my friend. And I'm like, okay, why don't you make a little bit of money while you're telling your friends? And so they join me. And it has just been, rather than struggling like I always struggled in the past, it has become more of a, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. When you are doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're in the place you're supposed to be, the struggle goes and God brings the results.
Mm-hmm.
Part of it is getting to a point where we're obedient to not want to do what we want to do and trust to do what He wants us to do. And that's really tough, especially when it's not. I still struggle. I mean, the other day I made a post. Do you know how hard it is for me to get out of my car all of this when I have health and wellness consultant on the back of my car.
Yeah.
It's not there because I feel like I want it there. It's there because I never know who the stranger is that's going to walk past my car and see that and say, you know, that's something I've never heard of. Maybe I should give her a call and see if she can help me. So I will tell you, it helps with your desire to drive through the McDonald's drive-through, to drive through Taco. It is a great deterrent because you got to be accountable, you know? And so it's kind of funny. I don't want to take that car whenever I want to go sin like that anymore. So, but oh well. I'm just being. Oh, I do want to share about Connor though. Connor was in the hospital. That happened the end of January. In March, the end of March, we moved him. In March, we moved him to a rehab facility. He was still in a coma, and they started working with him, trying to bring him out of the coma through medications. And he started coming around the day before Easter. Connor had a brain hemorrhage, and they rushed him back to the hospital. And we sat there at the hospital not knowing what was going to happen. And they went in and they cleaned up the brain bleed, all of that work. And after they got all of that cleaned up, the next morning, the doctor came in and says, we're not really sure what happened. We did the CAT scan this morning on Connor. All the work we did in there is like totally healed up. And we're expecting mega changes to happen with your son. We went back to rehab. Connor is walking. Connor's talking. Connor does not wear. Are you there?
Yep.
I'm sorry. This past week, Connor passed his driver's license.
That's amazing.
Connor works a job. He's totally functioning. There was so many times I wanted to give up. And part of that was because I don't want to go into the negative, but through this time, we not only had the trauma of Connor's incident, but we had an ex-wife and Charlie who butted heads the whole time. So we had drama and trauma.
Right.
But we have watched God work on healing that as well, you know? So just never give up. Don't give up on God. Trust him with the end results, even though it looks bleak, even though you don't have customers, even though you don't know the products. It is our job to buckle down, get in the Word, and then do what we can do with our business. You know, I have this little sheet. Oh, where did I put it? I laminate it, and every day I go through and I check it off. I use a dry eraser, and it has my non-negotiables: prayer, scripture, gratitude, visualization, meditation, move my body, and personal development. Then I have to love on 5 people and make their day. I try to make 5 new friends, wish all my friends happy birthdays. I have a molecule group, and I try to add 5 new people. If I see somebody who has an issue, I try to tag them in those posts. I try to post on Facebook every day, and I try to follow up. And then I pray about my goals. I pray about my team's goals. I pray about my leaders. Who are the leaders, God, that you have not brought into my team yet? Where are they at? Get them in a position where they will listen and their hearts will be ready to hear the good news about what I have to offer. Not about the money they can make, but about the lives they can change. If we'll quit focusing on the money and start focusing on the relationships, at some point, the money comes. And so that's what I do. I just try to talk to, go do appointments. I love one-on-ones, because that's when you get to know people. And when you get to know people, you can truly meet their needs. So I do a lot of one-on-one. That's really kind of what I'm doing. And it's just been amazing watching God work. Am I a rock star? No. Am I going to be? I don't know. I would like to think I'm going to be, but it's really up to him. Because
Sure.
I am going to choose to trust him with my results. And if that's not the path he has, if all he wants me to do is help a lot of people get healthy, that's what I'm going to do. That's rewarding. That's where
That's so good. I was just reading today in my devotionals talking about obedience is not burdensome. We act as if it's burdensome, but have you ever looked back on your life and regretted being in obedience to God?
No.
And I thought, that's so true, right? We think, okay, if I'm going to trust God, I'm going to do what God says. Oh my, like we just add so much drama to that.
Mm-hmm.
And every time we do it, we're just so glad we did. That's what I'm thinking about when you shared what you just shared. Yeah.
I think it's in Samuel where he talks about obedience is better than sacrifice, and hearkening to God is better than that of a fatted ram.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandfather was a minister, and he used to always quote that in church, and I thought that was just the strangest scripture. I never understood. It was kind of like that laundry song that they used to sing at church, bringing in the sheets. Why are we doing laundry at church? It was about saving souls, not doing laundry. But as I get older, I'm learning that it is better to be in lack and obedient to God than doing what we want and eating and having and doing everything we want.
Yeah.
We just have to get to the point of obedience, and it's not fun. It's fun once we get there, but dying to self is not always fun.
No joke. Well said, Anna. I appreciate also you giving some practical tips for people. I bet you $1 million that someone's going to say, ooh, can I have that? So do you have it like in a link somewhere that you'd be willing to share it as a comment in our Facebook group?
I do.
Or a file? Can we put it like in the files? Maybe you can email it to me and I'll upload it or something.
I'd be more than happy to do that.
I'm sure that would be a really huge blessing to people. Is there anything else you want to tell our community?
All I got to say is connect. I miss our weekly Bible studies that we used to do back in the day, but my life has been so crazy. I don't know when I'd have time for it. But yet at the same, I'm so excited to see that it's firing back up and that people are getting involved. There's a great group of people here. I love Tasha's heart and the team that she's put together. So if you're questioning if you should get involved or you need to, because this has just been it's been one of my favorite fall back on Facebook business go-to groups. And I am so glad, Tasha, that you listened to God and you got out of your comfort zone and have opened up your wealth of knowledge and training and trying to do things God's way to everybody. It's just been we just got to get more involved. And I apologize because during that year of chaos with Connor, I was not very plugged in. But you know what was beautiful? I always knew that my girls that we did Bible study together, I knew you all were praying through me through that whole time.
For sure.
I knew I could always count on that. And that's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be there for each other. And so that's what I want to do is I want to be there for other people.
Awesome. I love that. I know that Bible study was pretty rough on me. I'm not going to lie. From a prep perspective, I'm hoping that the format that we're using now is just, it's serving. And then, we're trying to be obedient in, okay, if we can do a workshop a month, right, and mix all that stuff and hopefully that'll work. I mean, in essence, that's a Bible study on how we apply that
Exactly.
to our business. So, yeah, we'll see how this community grows, and I'm just so grateful for you. So I'm going to end our video.
Well, I'm grateful too. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Anna.